Kitchen light was already on when I walked in half asleep. Morning hanging in the window glass, soft enough to keep. You stood there in that oversized sweater, hair still falling out of place. Steam rising from two blue cups, sunlight slowly finding your face. You smiled without looking up. Coffee's almost ready, and somehow that felt bigger than love songs ever did. Love didn't arrive loudly, it came in little mornings like this. Your coffee before mine, that was how my world began. Warm cups on the counter, rain left from the night before. Your hand brushing past mine, your coffee before mine. I thought it was ordinary, now I know it was the first place my heart felt at home. You always used less sugar, said morning should stay honest. I laughed every single time, still do. There was a tiny crack on your favorite mug, right near the handle side. You never wanted to replace it, said it still works. Funny thing is, I think you were talking about us too. Nobody notices happiness immediately. It slips into life quietly, then stays forever. Music playing somewhere low. Your coffee before mine was never a grand moment, just another morning turning into a life. If I could keep one memory forever, not the trips, not the photographs, not the big celebrations, I'd keep this. You standing in morning light, making coffee like loving me, was the easiest thing in the world. Your coffee before mine still feels warm somehow even now. I remember the blue cups, the quiet kitchen, the way you looked at mornings. Your coffee before mine, maybe that was the moment I started loving you, before I even knew it. Kitchen light still glowing, steam drifting through the room, morning waiting outside, love beginning softly. started just outside the cafe. Small drops dancing on the street. You looked up at the gray sky and smiled like it belonged to us. The umbrella stayed by the chair. Neither of us remembered it. We just kept walking anyway. Your shoulder touching mine every few steps. The city felt slower that evening, and I didn't want it to end. Love never asked permission. It arrived quietly between one street light and the next. The umbrella we forgot stayed somewhere behind us, but we carried something home. Rain on your sleeves, coffee on your breath, your hand brushing mine in the cold air. The umbrella we forgot. Funny how losing one thing made me realize I didn't want to lose you. You always walk closer to the road, never explained why. I noticed, pretended I didn't. Your hair caught little drops of rain. Street lights turned them into gold. People hurried past us, but we kept moving slowly, like the night had given us extra time. Nobody notices the beginning until it becomes a memory. The umbrella we forgot still comes back every autumn. Wet sidewalks, warm cafe windows, your laugh under cloudy skies. The umbrella we forgot never made it home, but the moment did, and somehow it still feels warm. If I could return to one rainy evening, not the dramatic ones, not the goodbyes, I'd choose this. You beside me, hands cold, heart suddenly not. The umbrella we forgot, live somewhere inside my favorite nights, between rain reflections and quiet streets. The umbrella we forgot was only a small mistake once. Now it feels like the story of the night. I started hoping you might stay. Rain soft against the pavement, cafe lights fading behind us. Two shadows walking slowly. Night holding its breath. Night holding its breath. I found it folded by the apple slices, tucked beside the sandwich wrap. Small yellow paper, your handwriting leaning right. Don't work through lunch again, and yes, eat the cookie too. There was a tiny smile drawn underneath, nothing fancy, just you, making an ordinary afternoon feel important somehow. Outside the cafe window, rain drifted through the city. Inside my hands, the whole day changed. Love never asked for big moments, it lived quietly inside little reminders. Your note in my lunch bag stayed with me all afternoon. Coffee getting cold, traffic moving outside, your words moving slower. Your note in my lunch bag wasn't trying to be romantic, still somehow it became one of the reasons I fell harder for you. You always packed too much fruit, said I'd forget to eat again. You were usually right, there was always something extra. A mint, half a brownie, a napkin with tiny drawings. I laughed every time. Now I think maybe love looks like this, doing small things repeatedly until someone feels safe. Nobody notices happiness immediately. It arrives quietly, then stays for years. Your note in my lunch bag still lives inside an old wallet. Paper softer now, ink a little lighter. Your note in my lunch bag reminds me the best parts of us were never dramatic, just everyday life made warmer by you. If I could return to one afternoon, I wouldn't choose the vacations or the photographs. I'd choose this rain outside, coffee beside me, and your handwriting saying, eat something today, like loving me was simply part of your routine. Your note in my lunch bag still feels like spring somehow. Light through cafe glass, your words in blue ink. Your note in my lunch bag started as paper, ended as memory, and became one of the quiet ways I learned what love was. Rain easing outside, folded paper in warm hands, coffee almost finished, afternoon staying soft. Jacket stayed on the passenger seat, sunlight falling through the window glass. Road outside the city turning gold, summer moving far too fast. You traced little circles on your cut, looking somewhere past the trees. I remember thinking, If this afternoon could stay, I'd let the whole world wait. The song on the radio ended twice. We still hadn't gone anywhere, and somehow that felt perfect. Love didn't arrive dramatically. It arrived wanting one more minute, then another. Passenger seat in July, your shoes up near the dashboard light, coffee between us, warm wind inside the car, my hand almost finding yours. Passenger seat in July, I think that was the first day. The road felt less important than who was beside me. You kept old receipts in the visor, said every good day needed proof. Movie tickets, coffee slips, one faded parking stub. I laughed at that back then. Now I keep them too. There's still sand in the floor mat from that beach we almost skipped. The sky looked gray, you said, let's go anyway. I'm glad we did. Nobody notices beginnings until they become favorite memories. Passenger seat in July still lives inside my summers. Open roads, traffic lights, your laugh at the window down. Passenger seat in July was never a grand moment, just an ordinary drive, quietly becoming love. If I could return to one afternoon, not the last one, not the hardest one, this would be it. You're singing words half wrong, sunlight moving across your face, and me already falling for you without knowing yet. Passenger seat in July still feels warm somehow. Even now I remember the road, the coffee, the slow golden light. Passenger seat in July was only a drive once, now it feels like home. Moving gently with you beside me. Engine humming softly, summer air through the window, road stretching under evening light, still going somewhere. You always left the kitchen light on, even when the whole house slept. Said it made late nights feel smaller and mornings easier to keep. I'd walk in after long work days, tie still loose, rain on my coat, and there you were, stirring something at the stove, soft music under the silence. Nothing extraordinary, just home. Love changed slowly, one dinner, one winter, one ordinary evening at a time. The light in our kitchen still feels warmer than the rest of the house. 2 cups by the sink, steam on the window, your hand brushing mine and passing. The light in our kitchen never tried to be beautiful, it just was, because you were there. You kept recipes in old notebooks, corners folded from being used too much, little notes in blue ink. Less salt next time, more cinnamon here, he likes this one. I never told you how much that last line stayed with me. Outside the world moved fast, bills, traffic, late meetings, but somehow this room stayed gentle. Nobody talks enough about this kind of love, the quiet version that survives weekdays. The light in our kitchen held more than meals, winter soup, Sunday bread, coffee before sunrise. In our kitchen was where life happened, not the big moments, the real ones. If I could keep one room forever, not the bedroom, not the living room, this would be it. You're humming softly, steam rising from 2 mugs, rain outside the glass, and me realizing I already had everything. The light in our kitchen still shines inside my favorite memories. Open windows, slow evenings, you smile across the table. Was never about the room, it was you, turning ordinary life into something I never wanted to leave. Kitchen lights still glowing, coffee waiting by the counter, night quiet beyond the window, home staying warm. Kitchen wakes before the sun now, same soft light across the floor. You're already there by the counter, like 100 mornings before. Your hair has silver in it these days, mine does too. When the window shines right, we move slower through the house, but somehow love feels calmer now. 2 cups waiting by the kettle, steam rising into quiet air, and suddenly I think we really stayed. Not through perfect gently until they became alive. Still making coffee for two after all these changing seasons. Winter mornings, open windows, photographs turning soft with time. Still making coffee for two. The world kept moving around us, but somehow you still reach for my cup first, like love remembers the way. There's a garden near the fence now. You planted most of it yourself. The roses took longer than expected. You never stopped trying. Sunday paper by the table, your glasses beside the bread. Small things everywhere, proof that life happened here. We were never the loud story, no fireworks, no perfect endings, just years quietly choosing each other again. Nobody talks enough about this part, the beautiful years after staying here. Still making coffee for two, even with silver in our hair. Slow mornings, warm laughter, rain resting on the window glass. Still making coffee for two feels more romantic now, because we know how much life it took to arrive here together. If I could speak to the younger us, I wouldn't warn them about hard winters. I'd only say, keep going, one breakfast at a time, one apology, one late night talk, one hand reaching back, because love grows quietly. And one day you look across the kitchen and see your whole life smiling back. Still making coffee for two, morning sun across the table, garden outside, warm bread, your hand finding mine again. Still making coffee for two, maybe this is happiness, not the beginning, not the fireworks, just this, you and me, still here. Morning light through the curtains, two cups warming the room, garden moving in the breeze, life staying gentle, love staying too. Hmm.